YFM is back again. So today's episode is going to be the 10 most underrated rappers. Fearless, why don't you go ahead and hit me with your number 10, and I will tell you why it was a bad choice.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
Number 10 for me is Rallo Rodriguez.
Who? Okay. Now, you have to forgive me. I've never heard of Rallo Rodriguez before.
For the jet, for the police, for the picture, I won't come back. Public hiding 100,000 on the new school, and I'ma drive back.
Yes. Yep. That, you know what I'm talking about. That cadence on the radio. Out of all of them, he's the best. And the reason why I say that is because not only does he get the spins and all of that on YouTube and, you know, streaming services, but I feel like he has the better bars out of all of them. And he's way more like just telling his true story. And a lot of his stuff connects with me personally, but he's not on the radio and he ain't like a big name. And it surprises the hell out of me because he sounds just like everybody else. But yeah, that's my number 10.
So my number 10, I'm going to go with Silk the Shocker.
Woo!
Silent and profiling.
So you got to understand something for me is, you know, I'm a New Orleans kid. You know, I wasn't really raised or grew up in New Orleans, man. I was raised here in Georgia, but No Limit is just one of the greatest of all time, man. Master P is one of the greatest businessmen and entrepreneurs of all time. And his brother Silk the Shocker. Like, I don't think people understand the stranglehold that No Limit had on the game at one point in time, man, when they were out. And Silk the Shocker was, to me, I loved him the most out of everybody. I'm talking about, I think he was bigger than Mystical. And, you know, he really didn't get a lot of radio plays like that. I remember when he made that song, It Ain't My Fault, with him and Mystical. And that shit went, you know, crazy on the radios at that time. But other than that, like, yeah, but a lot of people didn't really, you know, but everybody knew who No Limit was. So his album sold, you know, like a lot of people talk shit about him nowadays because his spitting was just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like it was a little bit kind of unorthodox, you know, but it was still, I still thought he could spit. I still thought he was creative, charismatic as fuck, man. I just loved everything about Silk. And at that time, because he was a part of No Limit, he was like, I guess, big. He was great, but I don't think he gets his flowers nowadays, man. And you know, a lot of people, everybody always looks back on somebody and say, oh, you know, they make fun of him, or oh, he was whack, and oh, he was this. But nah, man, nah.
Every day.
Yeah, let's word, man. His first album. No, it's not his first album. His second album, Charge It to the Game. That shit was ill, bro. It was ill as fuck, man. So yeah, man, my number 10 underrated artist is Silk the Shocker.
My number 9 is Rakim.
Wow. Okay. So, Rakim is you know, a lot of people say he's the greatest of all time. He's the pioneer, and I can't take it away. I cannot take that away from him at all. You know, I didn't really grow up in the 80s era, but a lot of people who did say, like, Wayne, bro, you don't understand. Like when that shit came out, like it was completely different. But you're putting him on the underrated list. I need to know why you're putting the greatest rapper, the pioneer, on an underrated list.
Because kind of like Roy Jones said, man, y'all niggas must have forgot.
Word, man. Word.
Must have forgot. Yeah, y'all forgot. Like,
yeah.
A lot of motherfuckers now, even in our generation, think like Hov is the GOAT. And I would say that you could reasonably say
that's an argument for that.
That's a good argument. Like not only just the money and all the record sales and all the having like 3 or 4 classic albums within a career. That's very hard. That's like Beatles type shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that. But Rakim is the God MC. He's where if there was no Rakim, you would have got niggas rapping like, there you go. Here we are. Then I'm a superstar. The box car. Wow. I'm trying without Rakim. That's how niggas would have been rapping, bro.
All right.
What's your number 9, bro?
My number 9, I'm gonna be just as passionate as you were about my number 9 as you were about your number 9. My number 9 is
Before we keep going on, make sure that you hit the like button and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you ain't already subscribed. Thank y'all for coming and listening to YFM, and make sure that you put a YFM in the comment section as well. Peace.
Ja Rule. Where is Ja? Where is Ja? Like, listen. I know Ja Rule may be kind of whack now. I know his actions. Yeah, it's all, I know it's because of the Fire Fest shit. I know he kind of played himself. Like, I know, man. I know. That's all it was, bro. That's all it was, man. Like, he probably burnt up all his money. The nigga went to jail for a few years, man. He's trying to make a little bit of paper somewhere else because, like, you fucking know that he's not going to be able to sell any more albums, no shit like that, man. So, you know, I've always loved Ja Rule, man. When Rule 336 came out, I was like, yo, I was in high school. I think maybe 10th grade, maybe 9th. I don't know. But I was like, yo, this shit is dope as hell. He had the game in a stranglehold at that time. So I'm thinking 2000, 2001.
Years.
He did that. Yeah, he did. He had it for years. I think he did that one track, The Last Temptation, the album Last Temptation. He had Bobby Brown on a song. Like, bro, Ja Rule, I think, is a legend. And I think we need to start giving his props and respects for being a legend. Forget all the whack shit that he's done in the past, like 10 years, 8 to 5 years or something like that. You know what I mean? But straight up, man, like Ja Rule can spit. When he did that clap back shit with 50, he may have lost the battle with 50, but you can't tell me clap back. You don't clap back.
That was a good song.
Are you kidding me, bro?
My number 8 is Bones.
Okay.
Now, I know you know who that is.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's my underrated list is like underrated, and you really don't know these niggas a lot. Like, but now everybody. But Bones is a MC that has one of his songs on YouTube with 50 million views.
Okay.
He makes music that your teenager or whatever listens to when they get their first car.
Okay, explain that. What you mean?
Like the beats are like boom, 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 but he's really rapping his motherfucking heart out.
Okay.
It's a very unique thing. And nobody kind of knows why he's not like bigger in the industry, but he is a white guy and he ain't like MGK or M. He's actually more like M than anybody else, probably, like in terms of rapping and like his subject content. But you know, I mean, I think he got songs like, you know, he just got a lot of good songs and he could really, really rap. And he has a big Twitter following. He has a big YouTube following, right? Big Instagram following, but he is extremely underground and never had a song ever even like really hit the radio. He has songs with 3 6 Mafia, Juicy J, because he's like 3 6. That's how he kind of raps. It's like 3 6 Mafia, more like a little bit more in that style. He had songs with a lot of niggas, man, like a lot of MCs and real rappers. He could really, really, really rap, but nobody know who he is. Millions of plays, millions, almost 1 billion plays, bro. And he's like, nobody know him.
My number 8 is the Black Eyed Peas. Okay. Yeah. Now, this is before Where Is the Love, before Fergie, before Let's Get It Started, before Boom Boom Pow and all that shit. This is back when them niggas was like, no.
Jesus Christ.
No, they didn't, because those songs are hits. Yes, and those songs are classics, and people love those songs. You know, they will still bang in a club, like you will listen to that, and then they'll play Flow Rider after, and white people will lose their mind, right? But I'm talking back like Black Eyed Peas. That's back like that's the joint, that's the jam. Turn that shit up and that and again. Like they were real conscious back. Yes, yes, bro. They were so dope back in the day. But not a lot of people know who they were. And I was actually gracious enough to see them in concert. They had opened for NERD. And I went to an NERD concert, and it was NERD and Black Eyed Peas, and that was back when Fergie was with them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we went to the same concert, by the way, y'all.
Yeah,
State. Yep.
But
the Clips was there too, right?
Right. Yeah, Clips came out of nowhere, bro.
The Black Eyed Peas, and then Nerd.
Yeah. But I think something clicked with them, and they were like, "Yo, we're not getting anywhere with this, so let's go another route." They added in Fergie, they added in the looks, they added in the Caucasian female, and it took them straight to the moon. So it was the right decision to make because everybody knows who they're right. Yeah, financially, but like even right now, not a lot of people really rock with Black Eyed Peas. They're still on that whole pop or EDM or techno or whatever it is you want to call it, and nobody is really rocking with them. They got Snoop on songs, they got all these artists on songs. Will.i.am has made like 3 solo albums. He has one album called Songs About Girls, I think. Dope album. Very, very, very dope album. And he's a great producer. He's a great rapper, you know, but they left all that rap shit aside and they went another route and direction on some MGK shit. And it worked. And it absolutely worked. But they're very underrated. Just like Fearless said, they're really like a Tribe Called Quest, like one of those type of groups, man, one of those type of bands back in the 90s, back in the mid to like late 90s. They were dope as hell. Go back and listen to some first Black Eyed Peas album and you'll see what I'm talking about. If you really like that conscious shit, if you really like that backpack rap, you know what I mean? Yep. Go back and listen to some old Black Eyed Peas. Don't listen to the Let's Get It Started and we already know those. Like they really created a lane in the 90s and that kind of flipped hip hop on its head a little bit. Cause that was right around the time, that was right around like the No Limit time. And that was right around like the, what else? Like the Jay-Z and, just different type of, different type of, like I want to say more heavier hip hop, more hardcore hip hop. And they made that lane and they were successful, but they just switched it up, So yeah, my number 8 is Black Eyed Peas, man.
All right, so my number 7 is Beanie Siegel. Okay.
Oh man. Okay.
The fucking God, y'all niggas in different parts of the United States don't give Beanie no fucking credit, man.
Yeah.
It is. I don't know how. That makes sense. I think Rockefeller was more of a up north label, right? Unless you were talking about like Cameron and Jay-Z. What do you think about that? Do you think that's a good?
I feel what you're saying. I know a lot of New York niggas that was in Georgia, like back in high school. For me, they love the rock. Like me, I love lyricism in my hip hop. So I love Rockefeller and the Dynasty more than whatever else was popular. So Jay-Z was very popular and Beanie Siegel was popular. When I was coming up too. Right. Now, I really feel this. I really feel this underrated. This choice for you. Because just off of like This Can't Be Life, This Can't Be Love, just off of that song alone,
like that
one, yes, like
yeah.
Beans was just, and then that whole Dynasty album, there's that whole he killed that shit, man.
That
should have been Beanie's whole album.
Yeah, It should have. Like he held that shit on his back. I don't know what. Hov had some good songs on there, but you remember that song? That song they did about their dads. Do you remember that song, Beanie?
Oh yeah, like Daddy, where have you been?
Yeah, do you remember Beanie's verse? That nigga was crying the whole verse.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I'm gonna kill that nigga."
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Nigga, you don't even hear anything like that. Shit was so raw. And then not to mention the movies, the state property movies, the first one.
Yeah, I forgot about them, man. And the state property soundtrack, bro. The soundtrack. Yeah, that was ill. That was ill. Yeah.
The clothes. You remember the clothes? Like with the secret, the jackets that had secret compartments in it for hustling and shit. Like,
see, I heard about that, but I never really wore the clothes like that. I was never really. The
pants had secret compartments in them. They kind of look like Jabos. Remember Jabos were popular?
Yeah.
So they kind of look like those, but they had like secret compartments in them where like you could hide stuff. State property, man. And like Beanie Siegel, he don't get no respect, but really, the beef that he had with Jadakiss. Yo, that motherfucker there, man. Beanie Siegel held his own against one of the best spitters that we've ever heard in our life.
Yeah, I agree. I still go with.
You still go with Jada?
With Jada, yeah, in that battle, yeah. But I liked him more. But
Jadakiss is way more likable. He's way more of an international. I mean, nigga, the Locks was signed with fucking Bad Boy. Like the Locks have been very fortunate in their career, man. I don't think niggas understand that. The Locks, man, they have been always around some of the best MCs ever.
Mm-hmm.
And they also could really rap. So like Jadakiss going up against Beanie Sigel going up against Jadakiss, that New York Philly beef. That's legendary shit. He can hold his hat on that. And he held his own. I think that Beanie was fucking murdering that nigga, but it's up for debate. It was literally like 1A, 1B.
But my number 7, I'm gonna go with Be Real from Cypress Hill. So I had like a little, I didn't know if I really wanted to put him on the list because I feel like people know who Be Real is and people know his pedigree, especially with Cypress Hill. I don't know. I was just going back and forth debate with myself if I wanted to put him or somebody else on, in this spot.
Okay.
Because I feel like as hip hop heads, as hip hop fans, we know who Be Real is, but I know a lot of people, sometimes you can get kind of caught up in the mix of your group. And I know he's the number one guy, but sometimes, you don't shine as much as you should because you got to give other people some shine as well. And I got another person. My number 6 is a shining example of not getting as much shine, but just as good, But Be Real, I think I always go to the song Explosion off of Stankonia, Outkast's album. Mm-hmm. And I love like his West Coaster. I see it in your face the way you scream at like you hate. And we was just talking about how you have like that offbeat flow when we were talking about Silk the Shocker. Yep. Be Real is one of those people who got one of those West Coast offbeat flows. And he speaks to the people. Of course, they speak about, smoking weed and smoking ganja and all this other stuff too, right? But he's really like, especially like, please listen to Explosion off the Stankonia album. Like, I've never heard Be Real just like be so real like I've heard in that song before, and he's just like, the world is ours, the world is yours, the world. Like, he really can't spit. And he really does speak like that conscious shit. And I don't feel like he gets his proper, just desserts. I feel like he don't get what he's deserved as a legend. Yes, as a legend. And I feel like, I hope this doesn't happen, but I feel like he won't get his proper respects until like he passes on. And then people are going to go back and listen to his music and they'll hear like, oh shit, we really should have given this dude more respect. Yes, you should have. Yes, you absolutely should have. Cypress Hill is one of the greatest bands of all time. And Be Real has, I really feel like his game, his music should be up there with the greats, and I don't feel like it is just yet. So yeah, my number 7, I'm gonna go with Be Real.
So number 6, I'm going with and this is where it starts to get crazy. I'm going with Black Thought.
Wow, good job. That's a good choice, bro. That is a really good choice, man.
I had J-Rock, but I switched it to Black Thought. The reason why,
good job,
is because Black Thought could probably be number 1.
Absolutely.
The only reason why I didn't put him as number 1 is because Black Thought is known. Because that nigga little Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Fallon, the Tonight Show.
Yeah. I don't know what he be doing. Because I know, like, Questlove.
He's almost like he's almost like a co-host at this point. You know what I mean? And like when they go on commercial, he the nigga be like, yeah, yeah, and shit like that. And every once in a while, they'll play a Roots song and he'll spit. You know what I mean? Like when the commercial break comes on, they'll play a Roots song. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, he's great.
First of all, Jimmy Fallon, right? Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. I only got one disagreement I will ever have with Jimmy Fallon on this planet.
Okay.
And that's his love for Post Malone.
Okay.
But they're friends, so I understand. But other than that, he said, yo, the only way I'm going to really do, like, you need a band since that's the way we do it on late night TV. I want the band to be the Roots.
Dope decision. Right.
I would have been like, if I was, first of all, I'm pretty sure all those white execs was in there was like, who the fuck is that?
Right.
You had that one black girl in there like, yes. So Jimmy Fallon always has a place in my heart. He's the only motherfucker that he will bring Young Thug and Gunner up there to do a song.
Yes, man. Absolutely.
He had them come up there and do Hot.
I remember when he had Tyler the Creator, before Tyler was who he is now. That's when Tyler was doing that that fuck kid, fuck your kid school and do this shit. Like he went up there. That's when Tyler was eating roaches and shit like that. He had him and Odd Future on there, and it was just such a big platform for those lesser known kids at the time to be on. And he trusted them enough, and they acted a fucking fool, man. Find that shit on YouTube. They acted a fool, and Jimmy was just like, these dudes is dope as fuck. And he was right. There was the future.
He is a hip hop connoisseur.
Yeah.
Like that is the person that we would love to interview because his knowledge of hip hop is crazy. But he's from New York, so he don't know nothing else really.
Right.
Anyway, back to my regularly scheduled program. Give it aside to Jimmy Fallon and everything he's done for the culture. You know what I mean? For the culture, he's done more than anybody could really do. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
Platform for white people to watch on late night TV and let them be more comfortable with black people. It's a lot of shit he's doing. But Black Thought has lyrically went bar for bar with your favorite rapper and won.
Yeah.
So he should be in the top 5 dead or alive list.
I agree.
But the problem is, and this is not a problem, but it just is what it is. Black Thought don't got no album like Jada Kiss, like Kiss of Death or something, or like Hove, where it's just like him spitting on like regular old beats. Like DJ Premier made his beats. You feel me?
Yeah,
like DJ Premier made his whole album or like Alchemist or Harry Fraud or something. If Black Thought decided, and he might have, but I haven't heard it. But if Black Thought decided to do that without the band and just spit with like the top MCs out there, he would have a classic album just by himself. So it won't be the Roots. And I think he is a part of the Roots, and he never did anything solo. So people don't ever consider him to be like one of the top MCs. But no, I don't know people that could have a better verse than Black Thought.
Now, my number 6 is Sheik Luch.
Ooh,
from the Locks. Man, and this is what I was saying when I was talking about Be Real in Cypress Hill, is sometimes you get lost in the sauce. And I think that's what happens with Sheik Luch every time Locks comes out. Because he can spit, but it almost sounds like he's just an addition to the group. They never, I don't know, I guess I like Styles P and Jadakiss get so much shine that people forget about Sheik. And he's just kind of like somebody who's just off over there. Sheik, as far as I can remember, he's never had like a hit single. Like, Styles P, like I get ha. And then you got Jadakiss, my God, pick one. Fucking pick one, So Sheik Luch was a hit. Right. It was at the Y.
Yeah. Remember that shit? That shit was a hit.
It was. Why did Bush knock down the towers? Why you around them cowards, bro? Absolutely. But Sheik, like, he's never had like that. He's never had his time to shine. And I don't know what it is, why he hasn't. Maybe he's one of those people like a Lloyd Banks who's just like, I'll do it when I want to do it. But the nigga could really spit. Like, maybe he's just wasting time not doing it. Maybe he's just cool being in the group. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. But Sheik never popped off like he should have. He never got that one single, man. And I don't know if he's just like in the shadow of the other two, but he never just got his props, his pats on the back. He's never gotten his time to shine, and he always needed. I wouldn't be mad if she came out with a song tomorrow and that shit just happened to be like on the top 20 or top 100, whatever the hell you want to call it. I would be so happy for him because I know how good he is. I know how dope he can spit, man. And he just never had his moment. But yes, number 6, Sheik Luch. That nigga is fire. That nigga is flames. And he needs to do something instead of just waiting on the next Locks album,
And one of the doper rap names in history. Really good rap name.
Okay.
Like Styles P, but that's kind of,
yeah.
Kiss. I like that too. That's a really good name. All right, so number 5 is the GZA.
Okay. Now, when we were going through our list, I heard you say that, and now you said GZA, not RZA, right? GZA. So explain to me why GZA, short for genius. Tell me what's up.
So RZA, they like cousins, right?
I think so, yeah.
RZA we all know RZA because of the production.
Mm-hmm.
He can rap too a little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, he can rap. RZA can rap. He's not known for the rap. I mean, he's known for Wu-Tang. He's known for being one of the niggas that put together Wu-Tang. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's like, big enough. But GZA was in a group. GZA dropped Liquid Swords.
Yeah.
That is a classic hip hop album. If you listen to 36 Chambers, RZA is killing almost everybody on there.
GZA, not RZA.
GZA,
Right?
GZA,
Yeah.
GZA is fucking niggas up every song he's on. He is really, really a great MC. But this is the exact same case when it comes to Sheik Luke in the group.
Everybody else was shining, man.
With Old Dirty Bastard, which we don't even got to talk about Old Dirty. He's not underrated. Old Dirty is not underrated at all.
I agree. Yeah, no.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, almost his whole album was on like the movie Knocked Up. Like a whole bunch of his hit songs was on Knocked Up.
No, it started off with Ooh Baby, I Like It Raw. And I think that's it. I think that was it. Yeah, it was just like you just did not see it coming, man. But that's like all of Seth Rogen's movies. He always has like that one song, like, oh shit, I haven't heard that in so long, man. That's somebody I want to interview too.
Yeah. Of course, right? Because he's in the culture big time. But that's my point. You start talking about the GZA, but then you automatically start switching over to like Old Dirty Bastard or like Cream, like like Method Man, and then like Raekwon.
Yeah.
So it's just like Ghostface, Old Dirty Bastard, Gen GZA maybe. But you probably still gonna mention the RZA first, right? Because so it's like you got so many other MCs in front of him in that group.
Yeah.
But GZA
he'll be forgotten about.
He'll be forgotten about, but he's one of the best MCs because he dropped his own single classic album. So did Raekwon. So did Ghostface with like Supreme Clientele and all that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like and probably like Fish Scales too was also like a classic Ghostface album.
Yeah, Fish Scale was great.
Yeah, that shit was even more. Fish was all right. So like, but Fish Scale was just like a whole nother level of just amazing MCing. So with all of that being said, you can get outshine because you're part of this group with super duper MCs and super duper stars. Because all of them kind of became stars, but GZA never was. He never really became like that. Even though he was on he was on the Chappelle Show. Remember? We're talking about he's the nigga that said you got to diversify your bond.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
So he's like a meme, you know what I'm saying? But like that motherfucker there could rap. So that's why he's my number 5.
All right.
Check out Liquid Swords. If you haven't checked that shit out, man.
All right. Okay. All right, man. So my number 5, I'm gonna have to go with Jimmy B. Fearless, man. Like I feel like Jimmy B. Fearless is just so underrated, man. Like everybody knows about him. People need to know about this dude, man. He is absolutely one of the greats, man. This dude, Jimmy B, let me look at his track list, man. He has an album called Passport Stamps. Out of all of them, I really feel like that one is like one of my favorites. He has a song on there called Tom Cruise, and you're gonna have to spit it for me, man. But at the end of the song, he says, because he's smoking weed, my eyes slanted like the Last Samurai casting call. You cannot say shit like that. You cannot say shit like that anymore, but he got away with that shit, man. And it's shit like that where you just like listen and you like, oh shit. And there's so many more of those hits. There's so many more of those punchlines that you just don't get, and it just kind of sneak up on you. In an album Kobayashi, he goes, I say he, it's you. I know it's you.
Yeah.
It's him. Everybody listening, it's him. But I'm still, he goes, I ain't gonna let him take me, even when I'm clowning around, still kill him like Gacy, still kill him like Gacy. Excuse me if I messed it up a little bit, man.
Let me say it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even when I'm clowning around, I'm still a killer like Gacy.
Think about that for a second, right? Just think about it. Yeah, it's a great bar. It's like things like that. There's so many of them bars, man. So many of those punchlines where you just like it'll just sneak up on you and hit you, man. And I really wish I keep telling him this. I keep telling Jimmy this, man. Like, I really wish there was a button I can press to make people just like hear him. Like, I really want it to be like if I can press a button to on some YouTube shit when you woke up in the morning. And you were like, why the fuck is my phone downloading this album that I didn't ask for? And it's on every single iPhone. Like, yo, I didn't even have space on my phone. And the internet just downloaded this shit. I wish there was a button I can press that could make people listen to this, to make like hip hop heads listen to this album, man. Listen to his albums, listen to him, you know, because I think he's just that good and the game needs him. And I think he's been underrated and underground for too long, man. And I'm listening to all these other like the Lil Babies and you know, like the MGKs, like whoever the hell else, the NBA young boys, the people who got this game on lock, and me like as a 37-year-old man, and I'm like, I mean, that's cool. Like I'm happy for the younger generation. They got those people that they can look up to, that they love to play on their YouTube or in their little vehicles. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But for older people who grew up on the Rakims, who grew up on the Wu-Tangs and whatever, you know, I really want, and I wish people would listen to this dude and listen to him and hear what he has to say. Listen to his rhymes, listen to his flows, listen to how he could switch it up. Listen to how it seems as if like no flow or no beat or no anything is too impossible for him. Like he can maneuver in any type of situation when it comes to hip hop. And I really wish that everybody will listen to him and give him a chance, man, because I really think there's an opportunity for him. I really think that there's a door for him to go through. And I really think he would crush the door. Like on some Kendrick shit, to where like you hear Kendrick and you're like, yo, nobody's doing this. When you listen to Fearless, man, it's like nobody can really touch this nigga, yo. Thank you, nobody can really like, and I mean, I'm not just saying that because we homies. I'm not saying that because we friends. I'm not just saying that because we podcast partners or whatever the hell. And I'm not saying that just because of that, bro. I really wish that there was something I could do to make people just be like, yo, this nigga is nice. And I don't know why I slept on him so long. But yeah, either way, my number 5 is Jimmy B. Fearless, man. Straight up. And I mean that shit, bro. I mean that shit.
Thank you. I know that you mean it. And there's only one thing that separates us and them.
Hold up. This is just part 1 of the most underrated rappers of all time. Come next week on Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, whatever the hell it is, Pacific Time, so you can listen to the rest, the next 5 of our top 10 most underrated rap.